Okay, I'm inside Tire Tube Cave. I just signed in at the register at the official end. Oops, hang on a second. Let me turn my light up. Now, there are at least 2 bats out here flying around. I'm going to do my best not to disturb them. So when I get close to them, I'm going to be dimming my light. I'm going to be pointing it down at the ground. And I'm going to be using my indoor voice. For now, the bats were a little ways back, though. Okay, here we go. So as long as I'm here, let's take a look around, shall we? Since there aren't any bats around, I can. Look at this. Look how uneven the ceiling is here. Interesting, huh? And there's like a huge crack here in the rock. And then across the cave, same crack. Nice big one. Okay. That's where I came from. That's the end of the cave. I was joking earlier, the floor is mud, so you could probably go a lot farther if you got a shovel and dug through the mud. But please don't do that. The cave is nice the way it is. Anyway. Notice there's the cave, the mud's a little deeper on the left, so there's probably where dirt is coming through a crack above. Look at this. There's a cool little deformation sticking out of the rock there. Wow. Definitely and there's a pile of dirt there again, probably because it's dripping from above through cracks in the rock. Here's another crack in the rock. What's ironic though, there isn't a mound of dirt underneath here, so that probably doesn't go all the way to the surface. Notice how uneven it is here. All sorts of weird stuff up on the ceiling. Very interesting. Luckily, the ceiling's like 8 feet tall here, so I wouldn't have to worry about hitting my head on that. If you're a basketball player, you probably don't want to go caving. Anyway. Yeah, luckily I'm a little bit under 6 feet now. So I got a little bit of headroom in a lot of caves. I'm assuming that all this crack here, well, when rock, like pretty much any material, when it cools, it shrinks, right? So that's one reason cracks form in the rock. But as far as those air bubbles, that probably was from water and other gases. We're talking about very, very hot temperature. So remember, water would be a gas, not a liquid. Notice, except for the texture of the, like mud flats, it's very, very flat here. And then a creek running along the left side. Dry creek. Notice how it's darker there. The wall is darker there. Here's another place where the ceiling's just a little bit uneven. And then here's that place where the ceiling's got the dripstones, kind of like lava stalactites. I need to be careful here so I don't actually bump one trying to get it on camera. These are very fragile. They're rock, but they're small, right? So please don't touch them. Some of them are even hollow. When they're hollow, they call them soda straws. I think that's more common in solution caves, like limestone caves though, marble caves. This is a lava too, so anything like this is a rare treat. Even this one's tiny. It's like ½ an inch long, but it's really curly and cute. Here's one that's white. Oh, it looks like it broke off at the end. Somebody might have touched it. Or could have formed like that. I really don't know. Notice how the wall is like the lower 7 feet is white and the above it is brown. Strange, isn't it? And then here on the floor, see, the left here where there's a creek, less people walking, is more like mud flats. And over here, the higher point, more people walking. It's been trampled. I bet when this cave was first discovered, the whole floor was like that. But yeah, if this was like a protected cave, they could have like a designated walkway and preserve more of it. But it's too late now. Notice there's a cool ledge up there on the right side, about 9 or 10 feet up. I couldn't climb it there if I tried. And it's so small, I wouldn't be inclined to try anyway. There's a cool part where the ceiling bulges up. Excuse me. Wow. I think it's all this dust. It's really, really dry out here. Even inside the caves, it's really, really dry. You know, in caves in southwest Washington, a lot of them are like 100% humidity. Here, it's desert. There's like no moisture to be found. But you can see on the floor how it zigzags just like a real creek. Look at that. There's like a cool deformation in the ceiling right there. Notice how there's like a hole in the ceiling corresponding to rock on the floor. So now you know where that rock came from. Good news is these caves, they already fell apart. They're probably going to last a while. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's a record of how many earthquakes they've survived, but you know, people, I don't know why, they always think if you're in a tunnel, that'd be a scary place to be in an earthquake. And no, this tunnel has survived a lot of earthquakes. It'll survive the next one. Except for the loose rock, like this one right here, you know, you want to be careful, but for the most part, yeah, this wouldn't be that bad of a place to be during an earthquake. Like I said, just stay away from loose rocks, though. Like stay away from the breakdown piles. Now, artificial tunnels, though, like mines, you know, they don't build a mine to last 50,000 years. So that might not be the best place to be in an earthquake. But it's been a long time since I've been invited to explore a mine. In Oregon, pretty much all the mines, they're all gated off, either because they're still in use or just they're not in use, but the safety reasons, they don't want people getting in there and suffocating. Like some of them seriously don't have enough oxygen, or they have poisonous gases. Some are flooded. You need scuba gear to explore them. So yeah, Oregon, yes, it definitely has horizontal gold mines, but do yourself a favor and don't try to explore them. Look how colorful the ceiling is here, though. And notice there's a crack up there along the ceiling. Notice, except for this breakdown pile of rock ahead, the floor is very, very, very flat. I mean, seriously, you could drive a car through here if it weren't for that breakdown pile. Notice all the flat rocks here alongside the wall. I showed you earlier, that probably means it peeled off the wall right there. It was just barely hanging on, like up there, see? If you were to touch that, you could peel that off. So please don't touch that. It's good the way it is, thanks. But you see here where the ceiling is higher, that corresponds to the floor being higher too, because the ceiling fell down. Now it's a breakdown pile on the floor. Man, this cave is huge. Usually